Somewhere, deep in the cosmic ocean, a faint shimmer of light struggles to exist, an ancient star taking its final breath. It's not an explosion, not a violent end, but a quiet surrender. Its glow fades, its warmth slips into the void, and all that remains is a cold ember, a white dwarf, the ghost of a once mighty sun. But this isn't where the story begins. To understand how a star dies, we must first understand how it lives. Every star, no matter how massive or faint, is born from chaos. Picture a swirling cloud of gas and dust stretching across light years, a silent, formless sea of hydrogen waiting for gravity's touch. Over millions of years, that cloud begins to collapse under its own weight. The atoms start to crowd together, closer and closer, until pressure and temperature ignite something extraordinary. Nuclear fusion. The moment that first reaction begins, a star is born. A cosmic furnace, burning hydrogen into helium, releasing light, heat, and life itself. Our sun, calm, golden, and dependable, is one of these stars, caught in the long middle chapter of its existence. But stars, like all living things, age. And when they do, they change in ways that defy imagination. For billions of years, a star burns steadily, balancing two forces: gravity pulling everything inward and fusion pushing outward. But fusion is a greedy process. It consumes fuel relentlessly. When hydrogen runs low, that balance begins to crack. The star's core starts to collapse under its own weight, while the outer layers swell outward. It becomes something magnificent, a red giant. Imagine the sun swelling large enough to engulf Mercury, Venus, and even Earth. The once stable star transforms into a bloated, shimmering colossus, its surface cooler and redder than before, but its heart hotter, denser, and more unstable than ever. Inside, helium atoms begin fusing into carbon and oxygen, briefly restoring balance, but it's a fragile reprieve. The star trembles with age, shedding its outer layers in great waves of stardust. To an observer in some distant galaxy, it would appear as though the star is peeling itself apart, leaving behind glowing shells of gas, what astronomers call a planetary nebula. It's a misleading name because it has nothing to do with planets. Instead, it's a cosmic chrysalis, a beautiful haze marking the death of a star's outer layers, drifting away into space. At the heart of this glowing cloud remains a tiny, brilliant core, the white dwarf. It's no larger than Earth, yet holds more mass than our entire sun. Its density is almost beyond comprehension. A teaspoon of white dwarf matter would weigh several tons. But despite its mass, it no longer shines by fusion. It glows only from residual heat, a fading ember of its former brilliance. And yet, even this quiet remnant has stories to tell. Some white dwarfs exist in binary systems, pairs of stars locked in eternal dance. When a white dwarf orbits close enough to its companion, it begins to steal matter from it, feeding on the other star's outer layers like a cosmic vampire. The stolen gas piles onto the dwarf's surface until it ignites in a sudden burst, a nova. For a few days, the system flares brighter than ever, before settling back into silence. This cycle can repeat for centuries, each time leaving traces of light that reach across the universe. But there's an even more dramatic fate. If the white dwarf gathers too much mass, about 1.4 times that of our sun, it can no longer sustain itself. The pressure builds until, in a single instant, it detonates in a cataclysmic explosion, a Type Ia supernova. The white dwarf is obliterated, and its elements are hurled into the cosmos at unimaginable speeds. These explosions are so bright they can outshine entire galaxies, and they serve as cosmic milestones, allowing astronomers to measure the expansion of the universe. The irony is striking. In death, a star becomes one of the universe's greatest sources of creation. The carbon in your body, the oxygen you breathe, the iron in your blood, all were forged in the hearts of dying stars. We are, quite literally, the ashes of stellar giants. But not all stars share such quiet or noble fates. The larger the star, the more violent its end. While small to medium-sized stars fade into white dwarfs, massive ones die in titanic supernovae, leaving behind neutron stars or black holes, objects so extreme they warp space and time themselves. Yet even those monstrous outcomes trace their lineage back to this same humble process: a cloud collapsing, fusion beginning, balance forming, and eventually breaking. The life cycle of a star is both an act of destruction and creation, chaos and order woven together by the laws of physics. Over time, white dwarfs continue to cool and dim. After billions or trillions of years, when their last heat has dissipated, they'll become black dwarfs, cold, invisible, and silent. No such objects exist yet, because the universe itself is not old enough. But someday, in the far future, when the last star flickers out, all that will remain are these dark remnants drifting through an endless night. It's strange to think about, a cosmos once ablaze with light, destined to fade into darkness. But perhaps that's what makes it beautiful. Every sunrise, every shimmer of starlight in our night sky is a reminder that stars live and die so that new worlds, and maybe even new life, can begin. The story of stars is not just the story of the universe, it's our story. From the red giants that blazed across ancient galaxies to the white dwarfs quietly cooling in the dark, each one played a part in making everything we know. We are not separate from the stars. We are their continuation, their legacy written in living form. And someday, when the last light fades and the cosmos falls silent, perhaps the memory of those stars, burning bravely against the void, will be enough to remind us that even in the vast emptiness, creation never truly ends. It simply begins again, in a different form, somewhere else in the eternal night.